Did you know that the same hidden issue causing your eyesight to blur could also be the reason you're not as strong in the bedroom as you used to be? And it's not your age. It's not just getting older. It's something deeper, something that's quietly affecting millions of men over 60 every single day. Hello, I'm Dr. James. I've spent over 3 decades helping senior men protect their vision, restore vitality, and feel confident in their bodies again, without risky procedures or expensive medications. And today, I want to share something every man over 60 needs to hear. Because here's what most people miss. Your eyes and your erections rely on the same thing: healthy circulation through tiny, fragile blood vessels. And when those vessels start breaking down, so does your ability to see clearly and perform powerfully. But here's the good news. There are 3 simple seeds, yes, seeds, that are backed by research, easy to find, and proven to help restore blood flow to your eyes and down there naturally. In the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly which seeds they are, how to use them safely, and why this quiet little habit could be the easiest way to protect your vision and reignite bedroom confidence, starting this week. Before we get started, if you're new here, I invite you to subscribe and tap the bell so you won't miss any of these simple science-backed tips made specifically for men over 60. And if this topic speaks to you, just type 1 in the comments. If it doesn't quite hit the mark, type 0. I truly read your feedback and use it to make every video better. Now, let's begin with the first seed. Small in size, but mighty in what it can do. If your eyes feel dry, strained, or you've noticed your vision isn't as sharp as it used to be, this might be the single most overlooked food your retina has been quietly begging for. I'm talking about chia seeds, and their benefits reach far beyond your eyesight. 1. Chia Seeds, the retinal reviver and circulation starter. I'll never forget a man named Alan who walked into my clinic a few years ago. He was 68, retired from construction and proud of the fact that he could still work on his truck without reading glasses, until he couldn't. He told me, "Doc, everything just started looking dull. Not blind, just fuzzy. And if I'm being honest, things haven't been great down there either." He laughed a little, but I could hear the frustration behind his voice. Alan's story isn't rare. In fact, it's more common than most men realize. As we get older, the tiny blood vessels that supply oxygen to our eyes, and yes, to our genitals too, begin to weaken. That leads to 2 very personal problems. Your vision fades, and your bedroom confidence follows right behind it. But what surprised Alan most wasn't some new medication or high-tech device. It was a humble little seed, chia. Now, you've probably heard of chia seeds being used in smoothies or sprinkled over trendy health bowls, but what most people don't realize is just how powerful they are, especially for men over 60. Chia seeds are one of the richest plant-based sources of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically a type called ALA, alpha-Z-linolenic acid. You don't need to memorize the chemistry. What you need to know is this: ALA helps reduce inflammation and improves blood flow where it matters most, your eyes and your erections. Why? Because both the retina and the erectile tissue rely heavily on microcirculation. That's the smooth, steady flow of oxygen-rich blood through very small, delicate vessels. When that flow is restricted, either by age, diet, or chronic inflammation, your retina begins to dry out and deteriorate. Your ability to focus, especially at night or while reading, starts to slip. At the same time, that same sluggish circulation affects another system of blood vessels that also needs to expand quickly and efficiently, if you catch my drift. But there's more to chia than circulation. These tiny seeds are also packed with antioxidants, including lutein and zeaxanthin, the very compounds found in premium eye health supplements. They serve as a protective shield around the retina, especially against the blue light from screens and UV damage from the sun. One of my patients joked that chia was eye sunscreen in a spoon. And perhaps one of the most underrated benefits of chia for older men is its impact on moisture, both in your eyes and throughout your body. When soaked in water, chia forms a gel-like consistency. That gel isn't just good for digestion, it supports your tear film, the layer that keeps your eyes from feeling dry, gritty, or fatigued by mid-afternoon. Many of my patients say their eyes feel less tired just a few weeks after adding chia to their morning routine. But what really stood out to me was how many of those same men, after a few weeks of chia, also began reporting something else. Stronger morning erections, better energy, a little more spark in their relationship. One man in his early 70s told me with a smile, "Doc, I thought that part of my life was over. I guess chia had other plans." Now, let me be clear. Chia isn't a magic pill. You won't eat one spoonful and wake up seeing 20/20 and performing like you're 25 again. But when added consistently, say a tablespoon mixed into your oatmeal, smoothie, or yogurt, it becomes a quiet force for good. It reduces inflammation. It nourishes your eyes, it restores hydration, and it gently supports circulation in both your upper and lower body. If you're just starting out, begin small. 1 teaspoon a day, soaked in water. Always stay hydrated since chia absorbs liquid like a sponge. And if you're taking blood thinners or managing blood pressure, have a quick chat with your doctor before adding it in regularly. It's always smart to play it safe. Alan? He started adding chia to his breakfast every other day. Within 3 weeks, he told me his eyes weren't nearly as dry by mid-afternoon, and while he was too polite to share details, his wink said enough. Now, if chia is your retina's best friend, then the next seed we're about to explore may be the secret guardian of the sharpness in your central vision and might just offer a surprising bonus for your hormone balance too. Trust me, this next one is even more powerful than most men expect. Let's take a look. 2. Flax Seeds, macula protector and hormonal helper. There's something deeply personal about losing clarity in your vision. One of my longtime patients, Mr. Harold, once told me, "It's not that I can't see, it's that I don't trust what I'm seeing anymore." He was 74, still loved driving, reading, and keeping score during baseball games, but over time, even with the right glasses, everything started to look just a bit softer, less defined. He began squinting more, reading less, and hesitating when turning onto busy streets. And along with that came a quiet frustration. He noticed that his drive wasn't just gone from behind the wheel, but in the bedroom too. That moment struck me, because it reminded me that as men age, it's not just about seeing less sharply or feeling less energized. It's about what those changes represent, a gradual loss of confidence, independence, and identity. But there's hope in that realization too, because once you understand what's happening underneath it all, you can begin to take it back, step by step. And one of the most powerful steps you can take is adding flax seeds to your routine. You see, while chia supports the whole retina, flax seeds specifically protect your macula, the central part of your vision responsible for seeing the faces you love, reading menus in dim light, or following hymnals at church. After 60, the macula becomes increasingly vulnerable to oxidative stress, inflammation, and poor circulation. But flax seeds offer a rare kind of support. They're one of the richest sources of plant-based omega-3s, just like chia, but with a unique edge. Flax contains lignans, powerful plant compounds that act as antioxidants and hormonal modulators. These lignans help neutralize free radicals in the delicate eye tissue and also support balance in your endocrine system. That's right, flax seeds aren't just good for your vision, they may actually help your body use testosterone more efficiently, which is critical for maintaining strength, stamina, and even mood. Back to Harold for a moment. We started small, just 1 teaspoon of ground flaxseed in his yogurt a few times a week. After a month, he sat across from me and said, "Doc, I don't know if it's the seeds or just me getting lucky, but I'm sleeping better. I can read a page without rereading every line, and I feel like I want to initiate more connection with my wife again." He paused, then smiled. She noticed. What made that moment powerful wasn't that flax seeds are magic. It's that a man in his 70s felt hope again, about his mind, his body, and his relationship. Let's talk briefly about how flax works inside you. Once ground up, and they must be ground to unlock the nutrients. Flax seeds begin to nourish the photoreceptor cells inside your macula. These are the cells that allow you to see contrast, color, and fine detail. They're incredibly delicate and they don't repair easily once damaged. Flax helps protect them from inflammation and oxidative breakdown. And because flax is also a great source of soluble fiber, it supports your gut microbiome. Yes, your gut and your eyes are connected more than you might think. When your gut is inflamed, your whole body feels it, including your vision and your libido. I often recommend pre-ground flaxseed for convenience, and I always suggest storing it in the fridge to preserve the oils. Start with a teaspoon a day, and if your body tolerates it well, you can gradually move to a tablespoon. Sprinkle it into oatmeal, smoothies, soups. Anything warm and moist works beautifully. There's one more thing I love about flax seeds. They're subtle. There's no dramatic crash or stimulation, no synthetic boost or artificial high. They just work slowly, steadily, restoring balance where your body needs it most. And for men over 60, that balance means everything. It means waking up feeling more alert, reading without rubbing your eyes, reconnecting with your partner, not just physically, but emotionally. It means getting back a little piece of the man you used to be and realizing that part of him was never really gone, just waiting to be nourished. But while flax is powerful for vision and hormone support, the next seed might be the most surprising of all. It's a snack you probably haven't thought twice about since your ball game days, but it holds the key to soothing dry eyes, protecting your retina from rust, and unlocking blood flow where it matters most. You won't want to miss this one. 3. Sunflower seeds, dry eye soother and blood vessel builder. There's something about the end of the day that reveals what your body's been silently holding back. I remember Joyce, a patient of mine who at 79 still drove herself to choir practice every Thursday evening. Her energy always amazed me, but one afternoon she came in with a familiar frustration. "By sunset, my eyes feel foggy," she said, "like I'm looking through wax paper, and I get this weird tightness behind them, like they're pulling inward." What she was describing wasn't just aging, it was her eyes begging for support. And interestingly enough, it wasn't just her vision that had started feeling strained. Her husband, Richard, who had been sitting quietly next to her, finally chimed in with a laugh and said, "We've both been drying up, Doc, just in different places." They weren't wrong. Dry eyes and poor bedroom performance may seem like separate issues, but for older adults, they often come from the same root: compromised circulation and oxidative stress. And the surprising answer I offered them? Something most people toss into trail mix without a second thought: sunflower seeds. Sunflower seeds are more than a casual snack. They're loaded with vitamin E, one of the most powerful antioxidants for protecting delicate eye tissue. Think of oxidative stress like rust. Over time, it chips away at the clarity of your vision, especially if you're often in front of screens, under harsh lighting, or spending long afternoons outdoors. Vitamin E helps slow that damage down, acting like a gentle oil that protects your gears from grinding. But it doesn't stop there. Sunflower seeds also provide healthy monounsaturated fats, which help keep your eyes moist and your tear film stable. That's critical, because the dry, gritty feeling that creeps in by midday, that's your eyes running low on natural lubrication. And it's not just uncomfortable, it can actually damage your cornea over time. When Joyce began adding sunflower seeds to her afternoon yogurt, just a tablespoon, unsalted and shelled, she noticed a change within 2 weeks. Less tightness behind her eyes, less squinting at dusk. But what really surprised her was Richard. Quiet, reserved, hadn't said much for weeks. But one evening after their usual walk around the block, he turned to her and said, "I feel like myself again." She wasn't sure what he meant at first, until he smiled, and she understood. You see, sunflower seeds don't just support your eyes, they also fuel circulation down there. These seeds contain selenium and magnesium, two minerals that are essential for relaxing blood vessels and supporting proper blood flow. And for a man over 60, that means everything. Because when blood vessels lose their flexibility, not only does vision suffer, so does the body's ability to rise to the occasion, literally. What I love about sunflower seeds is how easy they are to incorporate. You don't need a new recipe. You don't need a supplement cabinet or a fancy health shake. You just sprinkle a spoonful onto your snack, your salad, or blend them into something warm and familiar. They're simple, they're affordable, and they're powerful. Of course, a few things to remember. Go for unsalted seeds, especially if you're watching your blood pressure. If you've got dental concerns, consider using crushed or ground seeds. And as with any food high in fiber and natural oils, start small and work your way up. But the benefit? The payoff for this small habit? It's more than just physical. It's emotional. It's the relief of reading comfortably after dinner. It's the confidence of not avoiding intimacy. It's the quiet return of something you thought was slipping away. Control. Richard, by the way, didn't ask for a follow-up. He just sent a short note through Joyce a month later. It read, "Tell Doc the seeds worked. She's smiling again, and so am I." Now we've covered 3 seeds: chia, flax, and sunflower, each with its own unique way of helping you see clearer, feel stronger, and perform better. But the question remains, how do you actually put this into practice without getting overwhelmed? And what's the real reason these tiny foods can have such a big impact on a man's life? Let's bring it all together, because what I'm about to share may change the way you think about aging and the kind of man you can still become. Let's move into the final part. 4. Final thoughts. 1 small habit, big change. When I look back over the years, I've met thousands of men over 60, strong men, proud men, who began to doubt themselves not because of a serious diagnosis, but because of a slow, quiet decline they couldn't quite explain. Blurry vision, dry, tired eyes, less energy, less performance. And above all, a growing sense that the best parts of life were slowly slipping out of reach. But what I've learned, and what I hope you feel by now, is that it doesn't take a major life overhaul to turn things around. Sometimes it's just one quiet decision made consistently that starts the change. We've talked about chia seeds, those tiny black grains that nourish the retina, calm inflammation, and boost circulation from your eyes all the way down to your most personal places. We explored flax seeds, rich in omega-3s and lignans that protect your macula while gently supporting hormonal balance and digestion. 2 systems deeply tied to your clarity, confidence, and stamina. And we discovered how sunflower seeds, so often overlooked, help soothe dry eyes, shield your vision from oxidative damage, and open up the blood vessels that power both sight and strength. What these 3 seeds have in common is simple. They work from the inside out. They give your body what it's been quietly asking for, not through force, not through medication, but through nourishment. Real, living nourishment. And yes, I know adding seeds to your diet may not sound life-changing at first, but I've seen what happens when a man chooses to care for himself again. When he stirs a spoonful into his oatmeal or sprinkles it over his salad, not just as a health tip, but as a statement. I'm not done yet. I'm still here. I still want to feel alive. I've had patients call me weeks later and say, "Doc, I didn't expect much, but something's different. My eyes don't burn by dinner, I'm not squinting at my grandkids, and honestly, I feel more like myself again." That's what I want for you. Not perfection, not to reverse time, but to reclaim what matters, to see clearly, feel stronger, and reconnect with the man you've always been. So here's my gentle challenge to you. This week, just start. Choose 1 seed, find a way to include it, and stick with it. Let it become your quiet ritual, your way of saying yes to your vision, your energy, and your life. Because it's never too late to feel clear again, it's never too late to feel connected, and it's never too late to feel like a man. You've still got time, you've still got power, and with just 1 small habit, you may begin to feel it again every single day.